What's going on, 208? 1 week later, we're back. It's July 20th. So much to talk about. So much to talk about. We have injuries. We've got court cases. We've got all kinds of news. We're talking NFC West. How high can the Eagles fly? And can the Saints, can Kellen Moore keep the Saints from sinking? Well, so much. Get in, buckle in, snap up, strap up, whatever we're talking about. Get in here. Let's rock and roll tonight. Welcome, everyone, to 208. Justin, it is good to see you on this Sunday evening. How are you today, sir?
Good. My wife just got back from a backpacking trip, and she left me all the girls. So I was on my own with 3 little girls for a couple of days. So it was a good time.
You made it through. Right on. All is well here. All is well is here, too, I guess I should say. It's been a good week. We got through football camp, and we'll be keeping on going until the season starts. So it is National Listen Day. You got to listen to us. I'm telling you got to listen to us, or at least entertain us, right? Entertain us. We just a couple of guys like talking ball, and it's National Chess Day. We ain't playing checkers. We're playing chess. So let's get into it, Justin. Let's get into the news. We got a lot to talk about.
What's going on?
All right, Justin, you got news for us. What do we got?
Yeah, so I got a few things. So hopefully you got to watch some of the shorts we've been putting out. We're trying to put out more content, quick little 1-minute hitters. So I talked a little bit about Terry holding out, Jawan Jennings holding out. Rice finally gets his sentence. Again, he is 5 years probation, has to serve 30 days in jail under those in that 5-year period. Jordan Addison is going to court, so that'll be interesting to see how that one goes out. Judkins, of course, was arrested. Second-round picks their contracts are starting to fly, which is really good as camp is right around the corner. Some teams have opened camp already, so it's nice to see those second-round picks start to get more and more done. Players on the pub in the NFI, holy crap. It just feels like it's a huge, long list of all these players just going on NFI. Some of them are relevant. Some of them aren't. I'll probably just name off a few just to get it done real quick. Taylor Decker from the Lions. Who else? Jenkins, who is the Green Bay Packers center, is on NFI. Quay Walker, Christian Watkins, of course, who tore his ACL. Christian Wilkins, Najee Harris had a firework incident, so he is on pub. Mike Williams retired for the Chargers, so maybe Matt's guy, Quentin Johnston, can finally be a dude. I doubt it, but, Matt really loves him a lot. Brandon Ayuk, Ricky Pearsall. So the 49ers are having a real rough go of people on pub, especially wide receivers. Those are the big ones. So pretty tough. And then I think the biggest one, at least related to today's episode, is Tristan Wirfs. So if you guys don't know who he is, he's the left tackle for Tampa Bay. He recently got surgery. He will probably miss at least 3 to 4 games, which is huge for this NFC South episode. It'll have a big impact on specifically the Buccaneers. That's a big one. With another retiree, Glasgow from the Detroit Lions. So Tate Ratledge from Georgia, their second-round pick or third-round pick out of Georgia, who played predominantly guard, is taking first-team reps at center. So I think me and Matt were pretty cautious with the Lions. Okay, they're breaking in 2 new coordinators as well as a multitude of position coaches, and they're breaking in a new center, which Glasgow was probably one of the best centers in the league, if not the best. Keenan Allen's getting interest. It'll be interesting to see where he sides. And then one that we just barely got at the end of today, Noah Fant got cut today. So Eric Arroyo, it might be his time to go.
Yeah, we just covered him last week, and we talked about how much we liked Fant, but even more so Arroyo. So we really liked him. Go back and watch that episode. Any other? Out of all the stuff, the Rice news.
Yeah. So with Rice, just some of the stuff that I try to keep up to date with some of the lawyer jingo, all that stuff. So they're trying to compare it to a lot to Justin Tucker with his, I think it was sexual assault charges. So they're saying 10 games maybe for Rice right now. Judkins again, I think he's going to get probably 6 to 8, especially with the camera footage out there. With Rice sentence coming down, the NFL usually puts out something. So I think again, he's probably going to get at least 6 to 10 games. This really blows up Xavier Worthy for me. Like realistically, I have sent out a lot of trade offers in Dynasty for Xavier Worthy. I think he's a guy you got to go get right now. I think with Rice being out that long, I think he's a guy that I think his value is just going to skyrocket up.
No, I agree. I Worthy is a guy who just it's going to catapult him once the suspension comes out, right? Once it's official. So Rice currently is wide receiver 18, going pick 36. And I wanted to see if I could find Worthy. Yeah, 55, wide receiver 27. He could easily jump those 10 spots, 42. So I just keep that in the back of your mind. Worthy is good. Also, we didn't talk about if Judkins does get something handed down. Depending, things take time, but Samson, I'm beginning to like Samson. So put that in the back of your mind. Put it in your back pocket, and more to come. Sure, we'll get you guys news and let you guys kind of fill out. We'll give you guys info as it comes down the road. So, moving on, Jeff, we've got might be your favorite show of the season. We are talking.
Oh no.
NFC South breakdown for you guys. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, leave us a comment, guys. We love talking football. Leave us a football comment. Let us know how we're doing. Who do you like in this conference? Who's going to be your sleeper? Who's your surprise guy? Who's your must draft players? So we want you engaged. If you are here with us live, jump on in, ask some questions. We'll see if we can get them answered for you. Sometimes we learn from you guys just as much as you learn from us. Let's jump into it. Justin, I know this is again, this is your big smile there. We're going to get into it. Panthers last year, rough, right? 5-12. They missed the playoffs, obviously. You have them getting better. Still getting missed the playoffs, but 8-9. Give me your thoughts around that.
So I do like what they did this offseason. Bryce was really good last year. I mean, he didn't get benched. I think we're just looking back half wise. Maybe Matt can look up. I think his last like 6 or 7 games, he was really good. He was running the ball a little bit, which we like to see from quarterbacks. It seemed like he got a little bit of that confidence back, especially the last week 18 game against Atlanta. He played really, really well. Tet is a guy that I think is super underrated. I think he's a good wide receiver. I think he's going to be alpha. It feels like the theme of this like conference that the Saints haven't quite got there yet is 6'4" huge wide receivers as one. So you have Drake, you have Mike, and you have Tet now, which will be a fun group to watch. Ike Ekwonu, a good left tackle, Damian Lewis, who they signed last year, Austin Colbert, Robert Hunt, Taylor Morton. Their offensive line is at least top 15, top 16, top half of the league, which you like to see. The running back group, they did add Rico, which I do like. They really added in their front seven. Their defense was bad. Maybe just as bad as the Titans. It was really up there, but they went out and signed 3 front 7 guys, and they drafted 2 edges who I liked a lot, both in the second and third round, respectively. J.C. Horn got paid this year. Really good, underrated corner, son of Joe Horn, if you're that old, back with the Saints. So I think they should be improved. I think they're on the up and up. I think realistically, probably 3 teams can win this division.
Agreed. And just to answer your question, Justin, Trey Young had 7 touchdowns in his last 3 games, 0 INTs. So he did play better.
He was really good the back half.
So here's the Carolina Panthers, your projected starting. I threw a little twist in here for you guys, if you're paying attention. I wanted to put in what each player finished as far as their position rank. So understand Bryce Young finished 20th. His current position rank is 25, ADP 143, and get him in the 12th round. Now, Justin, you talked a little bit about him finishing well last year. If you look at what he finished 20th, and his position ranked is 25. Wouldn't you think that getting a couple more weapons, a little bit better defense, a little bit better offense, he would finish higher than 25 this year?
Yeah, I think people still have that sour taste in their mouth. He's little. He doesn't provide as much rushing upside as Kyler, but he did run the ball 43 times for 249 yards, 6 touchdowns, which is you'll take that all day. But like his last 6-7 games after the bye, like he was balling out 18 points, 25, 14, 19, 31, 22, 42 against Atlanta. Like he was doing really well. I'm really excited to see how he matures and plays in this offense. I do believe Dave Canales is a good offensive coach, that he went out and got him an alpha. They're really trying to surround him with some dudes.
Yep. Certainly in a super flex, potentially you could get him. I don't know, maybe as a third option at quarterback. I don't know if I'd go any higher than that, but in a 12-man, they're probably going to go undrafted, would be my guess for just a single quarterback in your garage league. Moving on to Chuba Hubbard. Finished 15th last year. His current position rate 17th. ADP is 47. Got to spend a little money in the 4th round to pick him up. They now have Dowdle finished 22, 54 ranked, 158 in the ADP. You can get him in the 14th round. Does Dowdle hurt Chuba Hubbard here at all, Justin?
I think so. Rico was really underrated with the Cowboys. He did have a decent amount of run there. I think Chuba was a really big revelation, especially he started so late into the snap percentage wise. He didn't really get over like the really big workload until about week 4. Then they started giving the ball. But I mean, he had 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns. Again, a little bit of an outlier year. Rico was good with the Cowboys last year. He had 1,000 yards, 2 touchdowns. Like this really could be a split backfield. I don't love Chuba in the 4th round. I think Matt, you probably give me some guys around him. Running backs or wide receivers or tight ends. I think Marv's in the 4th round, and you guys know how I feel about Marv. I feel like my first 4 rounds are pretty easy to kind of stack. I don't think he's necessarily that guy. Rico, again, is a 1,000-yard rusher. Chuba doesn't catch the ball that well. Rico could do a lot of the same things that Chuba could do.
Yeah, these two guys are a little bit before Chuba here, but Alvin Kamara and Kevin Walker are 43, 44 that you could pick up. I don't know if you like either one of them better.
Yeah.
And
I would
then
probably take both of them over there.
Behind him is Mixon.
Yep, take him.
RJ Harvey and Travion Henderson Swift. I love Travion Henderson. I'd pick a Travion Henderson over Chuba Hubbard this year.
It's kind of that no man's land in the 4th round with running backs. So
it is. So there's a little bit of dead area. So moving on to wide receiver. So we have Ted McMillan, which we'll talk about in a second. Again, it's a rookie this year. Current position ranked is 27, ADP 56. You'll have to spend a 5th round to get him currently. Adam Thielen, old man Thielen, love him to death, been in the league for 1,000 years. Finished 51 last year. Current position is 61, 157 in his ADP. Pick him up in the 14th round. Leggett, who's kind of been a little bit disappointing since coming into the league, finished 64th. Current position is 68. ADP 188, and you can get him in the 16th round currently. I did put Jimmy Horn Jr. on here, who is also another rookie. He is right now undraftable. However, Coker is the 83 here. That's why I put the 83 on there. I do think Horn could potentially help this team, and this is all I'm going to say about him. I think he's a pretty talented kid that we'll just have to wait and see how things shake out. Rookies are tough, especially where he was drafted. I don't know that he will be an asset early on, but I certainly think he could. But let's get back to Tet. Justin, you are a big Tet guy here. Give me your thoughts.
Listen, like, you don't accidentally go over 1,300 yards twice in 2 seasons at Arizona, playing with Fafita. I just think he got a lot of flack in draft season. It's almost like you talk about a player too much, and it's like, they just try to like nitpick on players. I thought overall, like Travis Hunter, I think is a once in a generation player. I'm super high on him. If he was just a wide receiver, he would be the wide receiver 1. But I was really high on T-Mac. I think he's a really good player. I think he's really humble. I think he's super competitive. He's very similar to the Mike Evans, the Drake Londons. The biggest thing was his contested catches, which he's really good at, and his separation, which were concerns for Drake London coming out. I don't think that'd be a big deal. I think they need those big receivers for Bryce to continue to evolve. Again, Bryce was really good at the very end of the season with not a lot of help. Xavier got lost in the shuffle. Adam Thielen was banged up a little bit. Jalen Coker was basically a college free agent in 2024 that they signed off the street. So again, I think this will be a huge help. Again, and Matt mentioned in the pre-show, I think his floor is probably 4 to 6 touchdowns, which you love.
Yeah, and so just looking at our projections from our friends over at Fantasy Pros, 57 receptions, 731s, and 4 TDs. I think that's light on the TDs. I think he's going to be a go get the ball in the end zone, 6 to 8 touchdowns for him. I think he'll be under 1,000 receiving yards. But so, there was so much being said during the draft. I can't say that I'm a big tech guy. I like Ibuka way better, but the issue with Tet was like, oh, he can't get off press. He can't get off man press. He doesn't watch film, right? That once you get into training camps, all that stuff goes by the wayside. You have NFL coaches, NFL wide receiver coaches coaching, trying to get him to do what they need to do. He's a first-round talent. I think he will be very good at what he does. I don't know that I want him in the 5th round, to be honest. Flowers, Xavier Worthy is there, right? And he'll probably go a little sooner. I don't know. I think I asked you this before, Pickens or Tet?
Yeah, I would go Tet. I just like to bet on ones. That's the biggest thing. I think George Pickens is like the boat or the mystery package, and like I just don't bet on those. I get that Tet hasn't played, but I know he's a one. He's going to get peppered.
I'll give you 2 more. Devontae Smith.
Yeah, this was the one that we talked pre-show. It's so tough because it feels like the Eagles are so run first that I would probably go Tet because again he's the one. I think Devontae's going to take a jump, but still.
And Zay Flowers or Tet?
I would still take Tet. The Ravens want to run the ball.
Yep, agreed. I did notice Sanders. There is hope for him. He's a heck of a tight end. They just don't use him much. He was finished 35 last year, position rank 32. I could see him as a top 24 guy, which probably means you're not going to use a tight end, but I hope they utilize him more. He's a heck of a talent. So moving on to our next team, the Saints.
Oh, gosh.
I know you're not a fan of the Saints. 5-12 last year, they missed the playoffs. And you have them even getting worse. You really do have the prediction of 2-15. Honestly, 2-15 with our fellow coach Kellen Moore at the helm, and they get worse. Help us out. Give me your thoughts.
Gosh, dude, this team is bad. I think last year I said the Giants had the worst roster in the NFL, and this year I am pretty adamant that the Saints have the worst roster in the NFL. They're old. They're super young in very key positions like quarterback. I don't know who's going to play quarterback, so that kind of stresses me out a little bit. My hot take with them is I think at least 4 different quarterbacks play at least start here for them. I don't know what they're going to do. Cam Jordan has been a thorn in my side for the last 10 years, and he's old. Tyrann Matthews is getting up there. Like they just got a bunch of old guys on defense. DeMarco Davis, who's been a stud forever. They have very young corners that are very grabby. Their O-line they did invest in with Kelvin Banks Jr. from Texas. Trevor Penny is a guy that might get cut. Talise Fiaga, who we loved from Oregon State last year. They have invested in the O-line quite a bit, but man, dude, like this, it's gonna be tough. And they have Chris Olave, who gets a concussion every 4 games because his quarterbacks can't throw the ball correctly. So.
Fair enough.
I think this is Drew Aller's future team.
It's very possible. Very, very possible. Let's get into it. So you'll have Rattler and Show, however you want to say it.
Chuck.
Fair enough. Let's go there. Yeah, fair enough. Here's the rookie. Rattler finished 42 last year. I did put 26 in there. That's what Carr finished before injury. So Rattler's 38. Shook 33. Again, they're really almost undraftable because nobody knows who it's going to be. I like Rattler. I liked him when he was at Oklahoma. I think he's a good quarterback. I think he fits Kellen Moore's system well. So we'll see how that plays out. Nobody's probably drafting any of them, to be honest. And I rightfully so. Anything to add on that, Justin?
Yeah, he threw for 1,300 yards, 4 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. I don't want anybody in this offense at all. I don't want anybody. I'll be honest. That is my.
Yep.
I know I'm a Saints hater, but like this offense is rough.
It is rough. So we'll go to the running backs, and again, I apologize if I put the running back in the wrong spot. But you have Alvin Kamara. Everything is going to run through Alvin Kamara. There's no ifs, ands, or buts around it. It's how old is Alvin? Real fast, Justin. Oops.
He's 29.
29 years old. When's his birthday?
I just have 29. I'm not sure. I know he turns 30 this year. Like he's had a lot of touches.
I'll tell you in just a second. Yeah, he's got a lot of miles, a lot of touches. His birthday, he will turn 30 in 5 days. So, right, 30 is the magic number for running backs. Everything's going to go through Kamara. He's a heck of a running back. I don't think he's worth a 4th rounder, in my opinion. If he falls in the 5th, maybe. But somebody's going to pick him up. I do like Devin. Let me back up. Kamara finished 10 last year. His current's 15, ADP 43. You got to spend a 4th round to get him. Devin Neal, the rookie out of Kansas, I believe, position rate 68, 223, and 19. I actually like Neal. I think he fits this offense fairly well. I just don't think he's going to get a lot of touches. So, Justin, are you spending a 4th rounder on Kamara?
Nope. I would not. My hot take with this team is I think they're going to trade Alvin Kamara at least by the trade deadline and give Devin Neal some real go. You got to see what you got. Whether that's Tyler Shook, whether that's Spencer Rattler with these young guys, you have to see what you have to address what you have, so you can leave that up to the draft. The Saints have been a team that have been kicking this can down the road for the last 15 years. That felt like they have so much dead cap and void years on all these contracts. Eventually, it's going to catch up with you, and I feel like it has. I think Alvin Kamara could get traded to Denver. I think he could get traded to the Bills. I could think he could trade to the Chargers. Like, I think he'll be a real hot name around the trade deadline in real life NFL, and Devin Neal will get some touch along with Keandre Miller, who's been in the doghouse with their previous coach. It felt like forever. So,
yeah, I agree. I think it'd be smart for the Saints to trade Kamara as well, see what you can get to a team that is running back needy, maybe due to injuries or something along those lines. So, moving on to wide receiver, Cooks, Shaheed, and Olave. Shaheed had a heck of a season before he got injured last year. Brandon Cooks, 96, Shaheed, 91, Olave, 93 is what they finished. Their current position ranks from Cooks, 107, Shaheed, 55, and Olave, 35. On all of them, Cooks is undraftable. Shaheed, you're picking up in the 12th round. Olave, the 7th. Justin, do you want anything to do with these wide receivers? Are you willing to spend a little bit as maybe your third wide receiver? I don't know.
Yeah, I think Chris Olave is probably the only guy that's a little bit intriguing. The thing is his concussion scared the crap out of me. Not just for like the price, but as a person. Like, he's had a lot of them. He missed 8 games last year. It was a really rough go. He's a really good wide receiver. Another Ohio State kid that, again, just has had some crappy luck when it's come to quarterbacks. Again, Shaheed should be the guy, realistically, because I just feel like Chris Olave is just a concussion waiting to happen, especially a bad quarterback play can lead to concussion. So I think Shaheed's probably the best bet, especially spending a 12th round pick. That's a lot. So,
no, agreed. I'm right there with you 100%. I'm probably fading all these guys, to be honest. They're probably going to be in shootout. They're probably going to be from behind, chasing a lot, but I'm probably fading them all. I do like Jawan Johnson a little bit, though. I think that tight ends fit well for rookie quarterbacks. Jawan will be 29 in September, but he's 6'4", 231. maybe be a little bit of a check down for these quarterbacks. But all in all, we are fading the Saints. And I think now you know why. Moving on. Moving on, the Bucks were 10-7 last year. They were number 3 seed, lost first round. The Commanders, which didn't surprise us. We told you the Commanders were good. But Justin, you now have them the same, 10-7. Give me your thoughts.
Yeah, so this team, again, they have one of the better O-lines in the league. Baker is a guy that I love watching. He's just fun to watch. I think he got the short end of the stick in Cleveland. Their running back room, I'm just not a Bucky guy. I get it. Like he is an acquired taste, but I am not super high on him. They signed Hassan Reddick on the defense. Vita Vea is still that dude. Levante David feels like he never ages. Their secondary is really good. Antonio Winfield's probably one of my favorite safeties in the league. They went out and drafted Benjamin Morrison out of Notre Dame, who I like a lot. So they did add quite a bit to the defensive side. My favorite rookie, besides Atlanta's, I know he's probably Matt's, is Ibuka. He's a dog. I can't wait to watch him play.
No, I agree. I'll probably let me get to it. Baker Mayfield finished 4th last year. His current position ADP rank is 758 and ADP 5th round draft pick. The one thing you need to understand about Baker, we got way more value last year than we have this year. He threw 41 touchdowns, something like that. Justin, is that correct?
Yeah, he had 44 total touchdowns.
44 total touchdowns, and I don't think I want to pick him. It's an anomaly because he didn't have that.
No. So for reference,
in the past,
so he had 2 career years back to back with 2 different OCs. That is very hard to replicate, especially jumping 13 touchdowns. That's a crazy amount. The most he ever had before those years was 27, his first year in Cleveland, and then 26 his 3rd year in Cleveland. Like, it was a very big jump. He threw for 500 more yards than he's ever thrown. Like, he had all these career highs last year. Like, he was balling out.
And that's what I'm trying to say. And we got him for insane value. Now you're paying a 5th rounder for him. So I'm probably not doing that. I would rather wait a round behind that, and I think you could probably get. Let's take a look. I think you could get.
There's probably Dak there. I think Bo Nix is probably there. There's still a ton of value. I still like Bryce Young at the value. He's just a really hard pick to go through. Like, his rushing upside is not great here, and he had 60 attempts for 378 yards, which was, again, an outlier. He doubled up his yards from any other season.
And you call me crazy. I would rather have Bo Nix. I would rather have Bo Nix this year for sure.
I totally get it.
So, moving on to running back, you have Rashad White and Bucky Irving. Rashad White was 24 last year. Bucky 14. I was a little surprised that Rashad White still finished 24, still a second, a second, 3rd round running back. His position rank is 43, 129. You can get him in the 11th round. Bucky just took the world by storm. He finished 14. He is currently 10 in position ranking. ADP of 20. You got to spend a 2nd rounder to get him. Now, I like Bucky. I really like Bucky. I think picking him up in the 2nd round anywhere is fantastic. I think it could be a steal. He finished, they have him 10. I think he could be a top 6. He could finish in top 6. So I like it. Justin's a little bit different, would rather fade him, maybe more of a committee there, but I like Bucky in that offense.
Yeah. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I think they will use 3 backs to this backfield.
Fair enough. Moving on to wide receiver, Evans, Godwin, Ibuka, McMillan, they're all on here. Evans finished 9th last year. Again, that's with missing games. Current is position rank 20, ADP 41. You got to spend your 4th round pick to get him. Godwin, 54 is what he finished because he was injured much of the year. His position rank currently is 29, ADP is 68. 6th round, you have to get him. Ibuka, the rookie, he did not finish last year because he's a rookie. Position rank 50, 118 to get him in the 10th round, and Jaden McMillan finished 50 last year, 63, 168. You can get him in the 14th round. This looks on the outside like a very crowded wide receiver room. And you're like, wow, everybody kind of likes Mbuka, but do we spend a 10th rounder to get him? Here's my take on it. Evans and Godwin, you got to start there. Evans, Mr. Consistency, finally had some injuries last year. He's getting older. Godwin is already injured and could be not ready for week 1. I am all about Mbuka. 100%. You get him in the 10th round, that is a steal. There's already reports out there with Tampa going, we can line this kid up anywhere. He was the most polished route runner in this class. I thought he was the best wide receiver in this class. It would not surprise me, and here's my hot take, as Justin likes to call it, that he finishes wide receiver 1 in the rookie class. I really like Mbuka. I think he could be that guy.
That's a pretty big hot take. Yeah, so I'll just piggyback on what Matt's saying. Mike Evans is probably gonna get you 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns. Until he doesn't, it is what it is. Mike Evans is so consistent. Chris Godwin, hey, he had a pretty bad, nasty ankle break in week 8 or 7. I can't remember. He has not practiced. He's done some stuff off to the side. We're pretty far removed from it. That still scares the crap out of me. One thing that people, I guess, don't know about Mbuka is, especially in the NFL game, high school game, college game, whatever you want to call it, if wide receivers give a heck about blocking and are good at it, it is really hard to take them off the field. They are very much an extension of your run game, and he is very, 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 very good at it. Hardline and Ohio State does a very good job of telling these guys to block, and he is probably one of the best guys to come out in a long time. He, like Matt said, he will not come off the field because he is not a liability in route running, in speed, and in the run game. He is if you're a big baseball guy, he's a 5'2" guy. He can do everything that you want.
Yep, agreed. I agree. Love him. McMillan's not a bad player either. Believe it or not, I think McMillan and Mbuka actually played some high school football all-star teams together. So they've been teammates before. Mbuka and McMillan are the future of this wide receiver group in Tampa. So, Mr. Cade Otton finished 13 last year. Position rank 22. ADP is 169. You get him in the 15th round. The reason probably why his position rank is lower this year than what he finished is of the injury of Godwin and Evans. He had picked up some targets, and I believe he finished with a few more touchdowns than normal.
Nah, he just had 4. He just had 4.
Is that all it was?
Yeah, he just had 4, which I thought was kind of nuts.
So he had 600 yards, 87 targets, 600 yards, 4 touchdowns. So yeah, that would put you close to the top 12. So again, didn't need a lot, but again, 87 targets for a tight end might be a little above average, at least in the top 12-ish area. So I like Otton still. I think he's a good player.
I think that's one thing me and Matt have talked about. There's not a huge difference between tight end 13 and tight end 4. It's just not it's 600 yards. It's not a lot per game. I don't know. Matt can probably do math better than I can, but it is not a lot. 4 touchdowns is not a lot. Targets, again, if you do not get one of those top 3 guys, you just need to punt it. It may be stream, whatever it is. That's just how I feel about tight end this year. Hopefully the influx of these younger guys like Arroyo, Loveland, Warren, Ferguson, hopefully inject some new life into these guys with Kelsey and Kittle getting a little bit older, but hopefully there's a little bit of resurgence there.
Yeah, for sure. Just to give some context around the tight end, and this is for Cade Otton here. He had 31 targets in 3 games and 3 touchdowns out of the 87 and 4, right? 87 targets and 4 touchdowns. So that just happened in 3 games. So it's not a lot, right? Just do the math on it. You can. It's not complicated. So, Moving on to the Falcons.
Gosh, here we go.
Justin's team here. 8-9 last year, missed the playoffs. Again, I think a lot of people were kind of frustrated as Falcons fans, really thought they should be playoff bound last year. Didn't happen. So we asked Justin, who is absolutely a Falcons fan, like, what is their record? What do you want them to be? Nothing crazy. He went 11-6. They're going to make the playoffs. I am curious your take on this, other than just being a true fan. Why the 11-6?
So offensive line again, they bring back everybody except for their center. The Bears took our center, gave him a truckload of money, which was fine. Ryan Newsel played for us. He was actually undefeated with when he was starting, which I thought was really funny. So to start out, like the Falcons were 6-3, like the first 9 games, and then they really crapped the bed at the end. It didn't help that Kirk Cousins. I think maybe Matt can look up his stats, what his touchdown to interception ratio was. He threw 5 in one game where we lost by like 3 points to I can't remember, maybe the Chargers. It was bad. So again, we have a really good trio in Bijan, Mooney, and Drake London. I think Matt was probably the biggest and probably one of the most early guys on Mooney as being a Bears fan. He's a baller. I think he's one of the most underrated number 2s in the league. Ray McLeod was really good. I think this is another one of Matt's guys in Nick Nash, which will be interesting to see if he can make the team. They have some real good competition there. They bring back all those guys. Kyle Pitts is the enigma, which we'll talk about later. Jalen Walker was a lot of guys, 2 or 3 defensive prospects. They went back and they got James Pierce Jr., who I'm excited to watch. He's a physical specimen, 6'5", super fast. They signed Leonard Floyd. Xavier Watts is a really underrated safety out of Notre Dame, and then Billy Bowman Jr. out of Oklahoma. They really added to this secondary to help that. They, thank goodness, got rid of their defensive coordinator, bringing in somebody new, which I'm super excited to see. And Jeff Ulbrich, who's been with the Atlanta Falcons during their Super Bowl run. So, yeah, I'm really excited to watch this defense. Divine Diablo, I think, is really underrated signing from the Las Vegas Raiders. He really fits what we want aside this a sideline to sideline backer. So, again, like, we know what their offense is. Their defense has just got to play better. So.
Just to circle back around, Justin's Cousins was 18 touchdowns, 16 interceptions, had 4 against the Chargers in first part of December. So now you know.
It was rough.
So let's go through the projected starters here. So Cousins finished 23 last year, position rank 37, his ADP is 230, 20th round. The only reason why you're drafting Cousins is to see if Atlanta really injury, right? If a team needs a quarterback, they trade him. So kind of go from there. Penix is the starter. Justin, I'd love to grab those last 3 games that he started. Penix finished 48 last year. Right now he's position ranked 23, 136, and 12th. I'm telling you, 23 is too low for Penix. It is not. He will finish much higher than 23. This might be where you get a bargain. No, it's not might. You will get a bargain if you get Penix with the weapons that he has around him. Justin, were you able to grab that? And then I want your thoughts on Penix.
So he was 18 for 27, 202, 19 for 35, 223, 1 touchdown, 1 IAT. And then against Carolina was kind of his come out game where it's 21 for 38, 312, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. The interceptions, there's 1 interception. If you can look it up, I wish I would have told Matt and just put it on the screen. Like, it's a perfect throw. Kyle Pitts outside shoulder. And I swear to God, Kyle Pitts thought it was volleyball and just like bumped it up. And like they're on the 5-yard line. Like it's a walk-in touchdown. So there's a few picks. I'm just like, what are we doing? So
he's a gunslinger at the end of the day, but you love it. He pushes the ball down the field, which is really good for London, which we'll talk about. So where do you think Penix finishes this year? Again, position rank 23. You think it's much better than 23?
I think probably anywhere between 18 to 12. It's just his rushing thing that I think that's what I'm a big proponent of. Like, people got to run the ball. Like, that's the biggest thing. Like, in college, he did run the ball a little bit. Like guys, like, he's not a statue. Like, he is fast. He's a fast quarterback. I think he ran a 4.5, 4.6. Like, he's freaky athletic. He ran more in Indiana than Washington. He had some knee injuries, so I feel like he stopped running. He runs to get more yardage. I mean, to get open, do more ad lib in the play. I think he's gonna he is a big time thrower. Like there's some balls like against Washington, maybe. I don't know. They ran 4 verts and he just whips the ball in on the sideline. I don't know how it got in there. It is different. Like he throws the ball different than I think a lot of people in the league.
Yeah, I agree, Justin. And I'll put a receipt out there. He's going to easily be a top 12 quarterback in my mind. The kid's just talented, and now he get a chance to showcase. In addition to, it's not his rookie year. He's got a whole year underneath his belt, learning from Cousins, if you want to say that, finishing on a high note in the last 3 games, and now becoming the starter with some very legit weapons. So, top 12 for me. Thoughts?
Yeah, I think he's a pretty good bargain. I mean, I don't want to sound crazy. Like he could be Baker. Like he could have that kind of jump. Like it just depends. Like this offense is like ready to go. There's no excuses. Like I said last year, they have really good running backs, really good wide receivers. I don't know what tight end. They have really good line. Like he has no problem to be able to be great.
Agreed. Moving on to running back, Bijan Robinson finished 4th last year. His current position is 1. His ADP is 2. Yeah, have to spend a first rounder. And you're only going to get him if one of those first 3 picks. Yeah. Tyler Algier, 42, 51, 156, 13th rounder. So don't get cute with Bijan. Just take him at 1, 2, or 3. If you are a wide receiver guy, I understand taking Chase or Lamb. I understand that. But your first running back should be Bijan in my mind. It's stamp it, put a seal on it for me. But if you get Bijan, you have to get Algier. He's a league winner for you if some reason if Bijan gets hurt. You just have to, right? Yeah. You wait till 13th, 14th round. You're like, okay, I'll take him here. And now you're secure. This is a high-powered offense, and Algier is a very good running back. Anything to add with that, Justin?
Yeah, he's a 1,000-yard back. Like he's not to scoff about his rookie year. 1,000 yards. So just to put into context what Bijan did last year, his last 11 games, he had 2 games that were under 15 points. So they were both 14. The rest of them, he was over 20 every single game. And one thing that he's been pretty outspoken about is his ability to break longer plays. So that has been his focus this offseason. It felt like he was like super consistent, getting like 3 or 4 yards. He makes 3-yard runs look crazy. There are some runs I'm like, I don't know how you got a yard. So I think he's trying to replicate a little bit what Saquon did I think Saquon had like 10 60-yard runs. So I think he's trying to replicate that a little bit with this offseason. It'll be interesting to see how that goes, especially with the play action. It should work a little bit, help Penix a little bit. People are going to have to, like, Bijan's our guy, so they're going to have to respect the play action.
Yeah, and don't forget, Bijan can catch the ball.
Yep.
He can catch the ball, so any check down stuff is in his favor as well. So moving on to wide receiver. Yep. Moving on to wide receiver, Drake London finished 5th. His current position ranked as 9. I don't understand that. I don't know why you would even put him there. I don't get that. His ADP is 17th. You can get him in the 2nd round. That would be a steal. Mooney, 31, 48, and 119. You can get him in the 13th. Ray McLeod, I put him on here just because he's that 3rd wide receiver, 56, 85, and 248. We did talk about a little bit.
Nick Nash.
Nick Nash. I like Nick Nash. Could he get into this rotation? I sure hope so.
I hope so.
I really, really like him. I don't know if he can get there, but keep in mind, keep him in your back pocket. If you have a late round stash, you want to try to get him in there as the OTAs and training camp goes on. That would be great. But let's talk about London.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about his game log, where when he had Kirk Cousins, just kind of the first of the year, trying to figure it out. And then the last game.
The last 3 games is what you're looking at.
And I'll let you go ahead and read it off for your guy. But this is what you want, the last 3 games with Penix. That's kind of your appetizer for the season.
So he had, I think, over 35 targets. So he had 8, 13, 18. I can't do math that fast. Sorry, guys. Had over 300 yards, like 400 yards almost, 2 touchdowns. Like, he's going to get peppered. he will get peppered with targets, guys. He is, whether that's contested catch rates. There's a play against Carolina. They ran 4 verts 3 times. And the last play, like, all right, we're just gonna run it again on 4th down, and they just threw back shoulder Drake London. And like, they're going to force feed him the ball. My hot take is he's the wide receiver 1 this year. I think he's gonna score 15 touchdowns. I think he's gonna go over 1,500 yards. Penix.
Yeah, no reason why he is a number 9. Not even top 4 easy. Top 4 easy. And I don't overthink it. If you're on the back end of the first round, so you're getting that wrap of 1 and 2, one of your players better be London, right? So if you're 10 or 11, 12 pick, one of those players in that area, and you're in that, one of those players, it better be London. And you'll come back next year and you'll thank me and Justin and say, "Oh, good call, appreciate it." I'm telling you, you have to do it. It's just a must. So the guy that I want to talk about, Mooney's good. Mooney could be an easy, good third round or a wide receiver 3.
He's a very good flex play, good wide receiver 3.
Yes.
He basically had 1,000 yards. Again, him and Kirk Cousins were pretty aligned. Penix has worked a lot with Mooney and trying to build up that chemistry. So I think he'll continue to be that guy.
Agreed. I do want to talk about Pitts. He's the last guy we're going to talk about tonight. So Kyle Pitts. What do you do with him, Justin? He finished 15th last year. His position rank is 17th, 152, 13th. You can get him in the 13th round. Is that a guy you're after?
I just he looks so lethargic when he runs routes, and that's my biggest thing. I don't know if it's because he's lazy, he's not used right, his knee's still bothering him. The only thing that I would say that come up is he's in a contract year. The Falcons already said we're not giving you an extension. I just don't know. It seems like they want to keep him. I'm surprised they didn't trade him to the Dolphins. I thought that's what was going to happen. I think something that could happen is we sign Noah Fant and trade Kyle Pitts. The tight end in our offense is not a really big part of it. His snap count just went crazy down after the bye. 41%, 78%, 40, 45, 47, 44. We were using a lot of 3 wide receiver sets with Charlie Warner as our tight end, and Charlie Warner is very much a blocking tight end. So again, that snap count scares the crap out of me. But if you want to take a gamble, it's a contract year, and if he wants to get paid, he got to ball out.
It's just interesting. So
he's 24. He's 24.
Yeah, and he hasn't done anything yet. Everybody's been waiting for him to break out. Could it still happen? Sure. I don't know. It's 74 targets, 620 yards, 4 TDs. He's 6'6". The guy's huge. 250 pounds. He seems like that guy would work so well over the middle, right? So let him work middle. Let Mooney work deep middle. You have London working, deep routes. But it's let Bijan work the underneath, check down stuff. It seems like it all fit, but you're right. I don't know if it's the scheme or him or what, but I probably am going to. I think I'm gonna fade Pitts this year. I think I'm gonna put my eggs in Bijan and London and ride from there and not worry about Pitts. I think there's other opportunity.
That's totally fair. I totally get it. He's an enigma. I have gone really back and forth on him. If it's someone I want to target, I'm really draft strategy wise, I am really bought in on drafting Trey McBride or Kittle, Brock Bowers if he falls to the second. I do not want to touch any of these tight ends after that. They get real scary.
Yep, I agree. That is it, everybody. You guys agree? Disagree? What about you, right? Leave a comment. Let us know. Did we miss something, right? Put it in the comments. We're here for you, right? We're putting in the sweat rings, like my hat says here, putting in the work for you guys, making sure you guys win your fantasy leagues, and just having a good time talking ball, because that's what we're all about. Any final words, Justin? Or what we got coming up next week?
Oh yeah, we got a mock draft, which it's gonna be super fun. So I think the biggest thing helpful wise with mock drafts is getting situations and kind of talking your way through it. Like me and Matt aren't trying to win mock drafts. Like, hey, I'm gonna try to get this person at the flip. Like this is who I'm looking at. Try to talk you through our thought process of why we think that way. We're gonna try to draft from different spots, just kind of make it random. Just kind of show up and talk about it. I love mock drafts. I do them way too much. I think my closing thought is just pay attention to the pup list, the NFI list. I think Matt has been really good about, hey, if a player's not practicing, it's probably going to be bad for them. Like it just doesn't work out. Like training camp stuff, like if they're not doing anything, like it's not a good recipe for good fantasy production. So again, as people continue to get on the pub and get off the pub and get on the NFI, get off the NFI, just make sure you're being aware of that, make those changes. I know people aren't probably drafting quite yet, but we're going to try to do a mock draft next week. Give you guys some of our early thoughts on mocks.
Yeah, for sure. Mock drafts are coming. Bold projections are coming. Sleepers are coming. Bust players are coming. It's not that far to the beginning of the season, and we're here for you. We want you guys to win. It's all about the bragging rights. We love the bragging rights in the garage leagues, and you're sitting with all your friends and drafting and having a good time. And there's nothing better going, yep, I won again. So I will leave you with that. Until next time, we will see you guys next time. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us tonight. We'll see you next Sunday, and we are out.